Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, entitled The Cause of All Causes, text 7. Sabhavan acharadhoram yattapah sasumahitaha tena kidayasi nastvam parashankam chayarchasi. Saha, he, Bhavan, your good self, Acharat, undertook, Ghoram, severe, Yat, Tapaha, meditation, Su, Samahitaha, in perfect discipline, Tena, for that reason, Kidayase, gives pain, Naha, ourselves, Tvam, your good self, Para, the ultimate truth, Shankam, doubts, Cha, and Yachasi, giving us a chance. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Yet we are moved to wonder about the existence of someone more powerful than you when we think of your great austerities in perfect discipline, although your good self is so powerful in the matter of creation. Purport. Following in the footsteps of Sri Narada Muni, one should not blindly accept his spiritual master as God himself. A spiritual master is duly respected on a par of God with God, but a spiritual master claiming to be God himself should at once be rejected. Narada Muni accepted Brahma as the supreme due to Lord Brahma's wonderful acts in creation, but doubts arose in him when he saw that Lord Brahma also worshipped some superior authority. The Supreme is supreme, and he has no worshipable superior. The Ahangrahopasita, or one who worships himself with the idea of becoming God himself, is misleading, but the intelligent disciple can at once detect that the Supreme God does not need to worship anyone, including himself, in order to become God. Ahangrahopasana may be one of the processes for transcendental realization, but the Ahangrahopasita can never be God himself. No one becomes God by undergoing a process of transcendental realization. Narada Muni thought of Brahmaji as the Supreme Person, but when he saw Brahmaji engaged in the process of transcendental realization, doubts arose in him. So he wanted to be clearly informed. The translation of the verse again. Yet we are moved to wonder about the existence of someone more powerful than you when we think of your great austerities in perfect discipline, although your good self is so powerful in the matter of creation. Hare Krishna. So we continue our discussion on how Narada Muni approached Lord Brahma, thinking at the beginning that Lord Brahma is supreme because of his powers of creation. And yesterday we discussed the 6th verse of this chapter, in which Narada Muni is glorifying Lord Brahma as the Lord himself, and glorifying him how great he is. But in this particular verse, it's very significant information given for us. And Narada Muni is wondering, but I can see that you are engaged in some austerities, great austerities actually, in perfect discipline. So how is this possible? I wonder if you're engaged in austerities and some discipline, then it means that there must be someone you worship, someone superior to you, because the Supreme wouldn't be engaged in some sadhana or some process of attaining something else, because by definition the Lord, the Supreme, is perfect in himself, so he doesn't need any process to elevate himself. Yes. So if you see anyone claiming to be God, but he's trying to achieve anything, popularity, fame, recognition, or wealth, or anything like this, or engaged in some particular sadhana or spiritual practice, by definition it means that he's not the Supreme. Yes, because the Supreme is always the Supreme. Lord Krishna mentions in 15th chapter, Mamaivansho Jiva Loki Jiva Bhutak Sanatana, that we are always part and parcels of the Lord. So we are minute parcels of the Supreme, but we can never become the Absolute Himself. Yes, we always remain part and parcels. And so those who preach that one can become God is in great illusion, or he's great cheat. You can choose. And if he's a cheater, that means that he's in illusion also. Yes. So we should beware to whom we hear. So therefore, this spiritual process has three checkpoints, which are very important that we always consider in our spiritual journey. And these three checkpoints are Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So if one does not devote himself in research work, the Vedas don't support spiritual laziness. Yes, because people are lazy. It is mentioned in the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, there it is said that mandach smandamatayo mandabhage upadita alpinayash ubhaksubha kalo asmin yoge jana mandach smandamatayo mandabhage upadita. That people of this age are very lazy, especially for spiritual understanding, and unfortunate and always disturbed. And maybe you have noticed this disturbance in your mind many times. And fear and unfortunate position. Yes. The very fact that I can see here so many foreigners, not Germans, it's a fact that you're disturbed. Why otherwise we would leave home in India, for example. I don't know about German language or English language, but in Slovene we have the saying, India Kromandia. Have you heard about this? India Kromandia? It's not in German, no? India Kromandia means like a fairyland, land of some magic land full of riches. But if there is full of riches, why would so many go abroad. Yes, to find riches out there in some north, which is raining all the time and no, rarely sun seen. Yes, because people are disturbed. They try to find some happiness elsewhere. Yes. And why Westerners came to India? Also because they were disturbed. Not for any other reason. If they would happy living at home, no one would search for India. Yes. So we can see everyone is disturbed in this life. There is no peace of mind. And in this world, we cannot find peace of mind. It's not possible. Only if we connect with the Supreme, only if we connect with the Absolute, then we are in our perfect natural position. And if one is in perfect natural position, he's perfectly satisfied. Otherwise, if we are not in our perfect position, we can never become satisfied. It's impossible. Yes. So the only solution is to connect. And therefore this is the purpose of the expression yoga. Yoga means to connect. It has the same root as the English word yoke. You know what is yoke? Yoke.
No, I don't know the word. You can explain the word yoke?
Yoke. Yes, it's. I think the Germans have similar word, and it's binding for an ox to yoch. Yeah, you see the same word. Yes, the same word. So it's the same root as yoga. Yes, means binding. And but this, of course, this is not binding as an ox to drag something, to be a slave of someone, as an ox is a slave of a master. But to become free of slavery to this illusory energy, to the witch Maya. Yesterday we discussed this story, German story actually, of Hansel and Gretel. Yes, this witch, we can compare her to Maya, to illusory energy that tries to entice us and kill us and devour us. Yes. So we shouldn't take cheaply any information that we encounter in this world. Yes. Because people of this world have four kinds of faults. And one is, of course, to be mistaken. One is to be illusioned. One is to have imperfect senses. And one is inclination to cheat others. And we can see in the modern world there is so much cheating. So much cheating. Even the state is cheating their citizens. Isn't it? Yes. And I believe you have experienced this cheating many times. Yes. So there is so much cheating. But it's interesting because truthfulness is the only remaining lack of dharma, of religion in this age. So people tend to believe because they hold truthfulness as something sacred. So they're prone to be cheated. People are prone to be cheated. So Vedas are warning us that we shouldn't take anything cheaply. We shouldn't take anything blindly. Yes. Bhakti-yoga, the path of bhakti, or divine love, divine devotional service, is not something blind. It is based on Shastra. Shastra is holy scriptures that is eternally valid. There was not some committee that approved Shastra that someone would study and yes, it's okay, I approve. Put a stamp on it. No, it's eternal. It is said in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam navai vidur rishayo napideva nasita mukhya suramanushya kutonu vidyadara charnadaya. That only the Lord knows what is dharma and what is not dharma. That it means dharma is spiritual path, and what is not spiritual path or religion, what is proper and what is not proper. Not even demigods, not even great sages. No one knows what is dharma and what is not. Only the Supreme. And those who are following the path of the Supreme Dharma, that is explained by the Lord Himself, only they know also what is proper Dharma and what is not. And of course, those who come in the cyclic succession of those who know, they also know. So we are privileged that we can also know if we really go deep in Shastra. And not just in Shastra, but in trying to connect with the Lord. This is so important that we understand. Because this world is the world of distractions. And we can see also here, just started the class and someone was banging at the door. So many distractions. But the ultimate distractor of this age, many of you are holding in your hands. This is the mobile phone. This is the ultimate distractor of this age. Yes. So even though it may be used for many elevated purposes, also for reading holy scriptures and something like this, to hear classes. I upload my videos on YouTube, for example, and many great personalities, we can hear their classes online. But although it offers these possibilities, there are so many distractions that can divert our attention from spiritual to grossly material. Yes. So we should be aware of these gadgets and put them away as much as possible. As much as possible. Yes, because they will divert our attention away from Krishna. Definitely. And especially we should put them away when chanting the holy name. Chanting the holy name is the most powerful process, but it's not mechanical. Usually people believe that mechanical process can give them result. It's like you follow some procedure for making pizza, and even if you don't think of how to make pizza, if you follow proper procedure, you'll get pizza. Isn't it? You think of your beloved in your mind, or about how to pay bills, or anything like this. But if you follow the procedure properly, you'll get pizza. But it's not the same in spiritual progress. If we just chant with our mouth, but our heart is not present, we'll not achieve anything. Yes. Because, as Jesus said, where our treasure will be, there will be also our heart. Yes. So it's very important where to create our treasure. If we put our treasure in material things, that means treasure, we can check what is our treasure by our thoughts. Where our thoughts are going, there is our treasure. Yes. Maybe we are afraid of something and our thoughts goes to something that is frightening us. But that means that we cherish something else, that we are afraid that this particular thing will destroy, isn't it? So if we are afraid that we'll be fined for some mistake, then we cherish our money or anything like this. So we should consciously seek our treasure in spiritual consciousness. Yes. In first canto it is said, Taseva hitoh praitita kovido nalabhate yat pramatam upareda. Talabhate dukkhavat anatak sukam kalina sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. That those who are intelligent, they seek for something that is not available in all three worlds of this universe. It's strange, isn't it? They seek something that is not available. And Bhagavatam called them intelligent. Those who are intelligent. One would think that there's crazy people searching for something that is not possible to find. Yes. But Bhagavatam explains that this most precious thing is beyond matter, beyond the universe. It's Uttama Rahasya. Uttama means beyond tamas. Tama means what? Ignorance. But actually the first meaning of tama is darkness. Darkness. And ignorance means, because ignorance darkness is represented by ignorance also. Or ignorance is represented by darkness. So darkness of ignorance, we can say. And uttama is what is beyond tama, beyond darkness. This world is inherently dark. You need some outer source of light that you can see anything. For example, you can just see how many lights are here. Otherwise, we would sit in darkness. Or if there wouldn't be sun, it would be complete darkness. Yes. So, Uttama is something beyond darkness. So we should search for Uttama Rahasya. And Rahasya means secret. Rahasya means secret. And in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, in 4th chapter, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Saevayam mayatadya yoga proktah puratana bhaktosi me saharchiti rahasyam hitat uttamam. That today I'm explaining you this ultimate knowledge of yoga, of how to connect with the Supreme. Because you're able to understand. And he puts two conditions. Who is able to understand this Uttama Rahasya, this ultimate beyond darkness secret? And what are these two conditions? Anyone knows? Bhakto sime sakachiti. You're my devotee. You're my bhakta. You're connected with me with love. And you're my friend. So it is not that we can really attain to the highest possible rahasya or secret with awe and reverence. Yes, we should become Lord's friends. But devotees also, that we are connected with Him, with the Lord, with absolute love. Yes, in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, in first canto, there is described that it was a great gathering of sages, yes, in the forest of Naimisharanya. According to some estimation, there was a gathering of 33,000 sages. And there was no sound system, and I hear for not even 33 people. I need a sound system to be heard. Yes, so 33,000 sages, or according to some estimation even more, gathered at the time to hear, to be engaged in some sacrifice for the benefit of all humanity. And they also were hearing about the absolute truth. And they chose a most profound sage amongst themselves. It was named Sutta Goswami. And they asked him, Burini buri karmani shrotavyani vibhagasha, adak sadotrayat saram samudrita manisha, bruhi badraya bhutanam yanatma suprasidati. They said to him, because we discussed how disturbed we are in this age, and unfortunate and lazy, spiritually lazy. They asked him, it's this age just has come. So people are, this is the condition of the people. So what to do? You have studied many different scriptures. Burini buri karmano. And in these different scriptures, different scriptures, many different paths are described. And in these different paths there are many prescriptions and many prohibitions. There are millions and millions of verses in the Vedic scriptures. So please explain us what is the essence of everything. What is the essence by which one can become suprasidati? Suprasidati. Prasidati means happy. And suprasidati means perfectly happy, ultimately happy. Yes, because everyone wants to be happy. We discussed this yesterday also. Anandamayo bhyasat. We cannot live without happiness even for a moment. Every our thought, every our word, every our action, if we know it or not, is searching for happiness, searching for pleasure. For example, you have come here to bring your life to some higher quality, isn't it? Otherwise you could lie on the couch and watching TV or anything like this, or go to the nature, yes, or anything. But you chose to come here.
TV doesn't work really good.
Yes, or mobile phones are also very conducive. Yes. So we can find any sort of distraction or entertainment. So I believe you didn't come here just for be entertained. Yes, because there are other sources of entertainment out there. So it's important to understand this wisdom, to rise our life on the highest, not just higher platform, but to the highest. Yes, we shouldn't be satisfied with something that's not the best. We shouldn't compromise our life, because if we compromise, we'll be cheated. Cheated of being suprasidati. Because if we are satisfied with temporary happiness, we are like a person who builds a house on a shifting sand. And what he achieves by building a house on a shifting sand, maybe his argument is, so beautiful view, or so good neighborhood. So good neighbors are here. Or I really love the atmosphere here. It's perfect temperature and not too cold, not too hot. Everything is perfect, and I can have beautiful, good job here, very well paid, and I don't have to work anything. So this is the best place to build a house. But it's certain that first storm will come, the house will break apart, will be destroyed, and this person will cry. Yes. So one who is wise, Lord Jesus said, that he will build his house on a solid rock. Yes. And that means that we build our house of life on something that will not be taken away. Never. Otherwise, we are like little children who build their houses on the beach of a sea, and when tide comes, flushes all their houses of sand away. And they cry, children cry, and parents think, oh, they are so childish. But when tides of life wash away their dreams, and they are always washed away, our material dreams are always washed away, then they also cry, like little babies. Yes. So we shouldn't build our houses on a shifting sand. We shouldn't count on these material arrangements that they will give us happiness. Not even our family will give us happiness. Not our wealth will give us happiness. Not our fame will give us happiness. Nothing of this world can give us happiness. Nothing. So one who is intelligent seeks something beyond material energy. Yes. And Sutta Goswami then in the very next chapter answers the question of these sages. And he says, Sarve pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktira dokshaje ahetukya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. And he uses this same word, suprasidati, how to become perfectly happy, perfectly blissful actually. And this is the secret, Uttama Rahasya. And even if I tell you, you won't understand if you're not two things. What are the first thing?
Love.
We discussed before that there are two conditions to understand Uttama Rahasya. We have to be devotee and friend. Yes. Bhaktosi me sakachati rahasyam hitat uttamam. Yes. So this secret is ahoitiki bhakti, unconditional love, unconditional loving service. And this should be directed to a dokshaja, that means the Lord who is beyond sense perception, to the absolute truth. And it is not enough to have unconditional love for the Supreme, but it should be apratihata, uninterrupted. So if we interrupt our love, our service attitude, even for a moment, then for that very moment we cannot be suprasidati. Yes, we cannot be suprasidati. But we all want to be suprasidati without stop, without pause, without any interruption. So please engage wholeheartedly in devotional service, in bhakti, and become a friend of the Supreme, most cherished friend. So carry your Lord all the time in your heart. Yes. Yesterday, after the program, I discussed privately with some guests. And one of the guests said, yes, I have love for the Lord. I'm not engaged in any spiritual practice, but whenever I cook or go for a walk, my mind goes to Krishna automatically. Yes. And I believe he's serious, that he seriously thinks like this. But this is not enough. Because our heart will be full of other thoughts also. And it will be full of other things that we cherish in our life. It will be full of hopes for happiness in this world also. And these are all false hopes that will just distract ourselves from the Lord. In the Holy Bible it is said that Lord is a jealous God. And one would think that is a bad quality, isn't it? We consider jealousy as a bad quality. But what does this really mean? It actually means that we also say the same thing, but with other words that are more fancy. We say this: the Lord is ultimately unattached. It's not attached if we are attached to Him or not. Yes, He's completely free, and we are also completely free to act as we want, to act as we choose. Of course, we are conditioned, so in this sense we are not free. We are slaves of our conditionings. But Lord is teaching us how to become free of this slavery. So we can choose if we want to remain slaves or go to the highest possible degree of spiritual freedom. Yes. So we are all invited to become free. Yes. But if anyone of you wants to remain slave, you are free to to remain slave. Yes. No one will force you to become free. It's against the principle of freedom. So yes. But nevertheless, we invite you to become free. We invite you to become free, because we know only by freedom one can become suprasiddhiti. And this freedom is achieved only by unconditional love. And we know that only love can bring us happiness, nothing else. You can imagine that you have sweets and there are other people and you don't want to share them. Actually, you don't feel happiness in your heart. You feel envy and trying to enjoy something with very hard with your tongue. And you're very careful that no one will see you. Yes, but you don't feel happiness. You don't feel joy in your heart. Yes. So only by love we can really feel joy of being suprasiddhiti. So the path of Krishna consciousness is the path of becoming suprasiddhiti. Yes. This scientific process. Scientific process. So please engage in it wholeheartedly, not half-heartedly, or 5% hardly. Because then you will miss the opportunity. And now it's golden opportunity. Really golden opportunity. This is not advertisement uh, or some cheating process of modern age. It really is. Oh, it's confirmed. You see? Yes. Because in this age, Lord Chaitanya descended. These are one of these two. Yes. And not that we can just go beyond this world to attain this uttama state of consciousness beyond material world. But as Lord Jesus said also, that the house of my Father has many rooms. Have you heard for this saying? What does it mean? It means that spiritual world, because the house of my Father is a God, of course. Jesus's Father is God, and the house of my Father. That means spiritual world, because spiritual world is the dwelling place of the Lord. Has many rooms. It means that there are many abodes, spiritual abodes, different spiritual abodes, innumerable spiritual abodes. But Lord Chaitanya is inviting us in most intimate of spiritual abodes. So intimate that in divine love for the Lord, we completely forget that the Lord is God. And He completely forgets that He's God. It's so intimate, this abode, the just condensed flow of love. And is it achievable, easily achievable in this age? Just take to chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, serious chanters of the holy names. They chant at least 16 rounds on Japamala. This takes around 2 hours of meditation. Everyone is eligible to do this. Yes. Because we don't engage in necessary activities to survive for 22 hours or more. So we can spare 2 hours to reconnect with the Lord. Yes, and become serious chanters. And serious means that we really devote to chanting. Not just that we open our mouth and let some sound comes out. No, that this will not work. We should connect. We should pray to Lord. Please accept me. I'm enabled to connect with you, but please help me. You're my only hope. My only hope. My only hope. Yes. Otherwise, our house will be built on a shifting sand. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment or doubt? Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, bro. Thank you for so much. So wonderful class, like scientific class. Amazing. Like one of my question is like you told us like to carry Krishna always in the heart. So what are different ways that we can carry Krishna always in our heart?
The most easy process to carry Krishna in the heart is to always chant the holy name. Then Krishna is established in your consciousness, if you consciously sing the holy name and chant.
So we should like chanting 24 hours or something.
Yes, this is the process. Even during sleeping and eating and other processes, even when you go to the toilet, just chant. Never stop chanting. Of course, when you read, you should focus on reading. But reading is also chanting, because reading of scriptures is all sacred sound, because there are different stages of sound, vibration. And this, what we read, is also a subtle sound vibration. And it's as good as chanting this Hare Krishna mantra if we read the Holy Scriptures. But that doesn't mean that we can just read and not chant. Yes, because when we chant, we we should get into prayerful mood. Yes, Lord, I'm your servant. Please help me. Please engage me in your service. Please connect with me. And we are completely dependent on the Lord. By this chanting, we understand that we are completely dependent on the Lord. That we are not able to force the Lord to connect with us. We have no power to force the Lord. As we said before, He is completely independent. Paramasvatantra. Yes, He's not dependent on anyone, not on our prayers, not on anything. But we should also know that He's supremely merciful. Yes. And because He's supremely merciful, His mercy flows freely everywhere. Yes. And by this chanting, with this prayerful mood, we actually are trying really hard to open our heart to receive this flow of mercy. Otherwise, our heart is closed and it's sealed. Actually, it's very hard to open. But with this chanting, we pray to the Lord, please help us open this door. Yes, and Krishna says that Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Dharatyaya Mam Eva Ye Prapadante Mayam Etantarantite. This material energy is not possible to overcome. Yes, it's Dharatyaya. It's not possible for us to overcome it. But Mam Eva Ye Prapadante. If one certainly surrenders to me, Eva means certainly, something that really supports some statement. Mam eva ye prapadanti. If you surrender exclusively to me, then you will easily cross beyond this Maya. So by this chanting, of constant chanting, and at least 2 hours of meditation, but otherwise constant chanting, you will open your heart. Krishna will help you to open your heart. Yes, so we should engage seriously in spiritual search, in meditation of the holy names every day. 16 rounds minimum, said Prabhupada. This is not maximum. This is minimum. We should know what is minimum. Minimum to survive on bodily level is to be like a skeleton. This is minimum. You survive, but it's not very beneficial for you to survive, barely survive. This is minimum. Yes. And I believe the state has some amount of income that is considered to be minimum, isn't it? Yes. So minimum means bare survival. Yes. If we want to thrive, we should chant more. Yes. And we should never stop, actually.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? You certainly have questions.
Currently not.
Everything's clear.
So
Yeah.
I want to ask, first of all, thank you so much for, like in the beginning you told, like in this yoga, like jivas are by default lazy. So like, is there a reason behind that why like the jivas or me myself I am lazy? Like what is the reason behind that? Why we are by default lazy?
Hare Krishna. As we mentioned before, everyone wants to be happy. So because it's Kali Yuga, people are short-minded, are actually stupid. And because they're stupid, they believe that laziness will bring them happiness. Is there anyone who understands a little bit of Italian? No one. I also don't speak Italian at all, but I know the saying, one Italian saying. It goes like, dolce far niente. Do you know what does it mean?
Dolce is sweet.
Dolce is sweet, yes.
The sweet life.
Far niente. Sweet, doing nothing, actually. It's sweet of doing not doing anything. This is sweet life. Dolce far niente. Yes, you can remember now. But don't take to this philosophy. Yes, because dolce far niente will take you to the grave. Yes. Even your consciousness, even before death, you will spiritually die. Or continue your spiritual death. Your spiritual slumber. So, because people of this age are not intelligent enough, they think that easy life, as easy as possible, will bring them happiness. But actually, anyone knows who wants to achieve anything, even material achievements, that great effort should be done. For example, if one wants to be an Olympic champion, he has to be extremely austere. Extremely austere. I just recently heard about these cyclists. Do you know what cyclists eat? It's practically only liquid sugar, more or less. Sorry?
What did that mean, liquid sugar?
Some different kinds of these sport drinks, and energetic drinks.
You mean during their cycle?
No, all the time, because they have to ingest so much of energy, because they are completely in this racing for days and days, every day 150, 200 kilometers, and their digestive system should be adapted to ingest only these sport drinks.
So that the power works on, or what does it mean?
That
The
means
body can
Yes, and if they ingest anything else, they get serious indigestion. Yes, and they can't compete anymore because of this. So just imagine what an austerity is this. Here we have ample prasad.
So much of dedication.
Yes, um, actually, no such austerity is needed. It's needed just love, just trying to give your heart to the Lord. This is everything. It's really needed. Yes, and this chanting of 16 rounds minimum is token of our dedication to the Lord. Yes, it's a sign. Yes, Lord, my Lord, I'm serious. I really want to love you. I really want to give you my heart. And therefore, this is minimum. Otherwise, we'll just try to cheat the Lord. Yes, I give you 5% of my life, so I expect 100% from you. Good investment. Yes. Then we play this business with the Lord. But then this is not a heituki. This is not unconditional love. And if it is not a heituki, the outcome will not be suprasidati or perfect happiness. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Now I have a question. You talked in your lecture about the truthfulness is actually the only thing what is left here in Kali Yuga, and this is a possibility that we get cheated from cheaters. And now I would like to ask, from our Gaudiya Vaishnava line, there were, for example, some changes. For example, Bhaktisiddhanta, he gave himself sannyas initiation. Srila Prabhupada changed something. So we accept all this, and I believe this also. And that this is authentic, especially if I read Srila Prabhupada's books, so I have no doubts on this. But for example, there are also other groups, for example, this Bhakti Marg, or in Vrindavan, there are other temples, they're kind of Vaishnavas, but they are not really connected with the line of our Guru Sadhu and Shastra, but somehow or others they are also Vaishnavas, and they created something new. And we say it's not authorized what they are doing, but they can also tell to us, Srila Prabhupada give lady initiation, we chant just 16 rounds and not 64, so there are also changes. How can we be sure that, for example, in ISKCON we are authentic, and for example, Bhakti Marg or other, it's something new, which is not connected with tradition, with Guru Sadhu Shastra?
Hare Krishna. Very important question. Because in the beginning we said that we shouldn't take anything blindly. And that the Vedas don't support spiritual laziness. That we should just take something and blindly because it's convenient. Then we don't have to strive to find the absolute truth. Therefore it is said, Etavat eva jigyasan tattva jigyasun atmana anvaya vyatairika bhyan yat syat sarvatra sarvada. That we should search for the absolute truth in all circumstances, at all times, directly and indirectly. Yes, this is our duty. So we should understand what is the essence, because we just heard that this sages from Namasharanya ask Sutta Goswami, what is the essence? And the essence can never be changed. And the essence is explained in a nutshell in second chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then the whole Srimad Bhagavatam is actually explanation of these verses from second chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Here it is also very important verse that we have read today and the purport, that God is always God. No one can become God. So, and if we know Shastra, God is foretold in Shastra. All appearances of the Lord are foretold in Shastra. So one should refer to Shastric references to see who is bona fide incarnation and who is not bona fide incarnation. This is very important. Otherwise, you can cheaply accept anyone who claims that he is God for God. But actually, and everyone is a cheater in this age, because it is said that no one in this age, no God's incarnation in this age, because it's an age of cheating, claims for himself to be a God. Yes, so if anyone claims to be a God, he's a cheater. Or if he allows his followers to call him a God, he's a cheater. So we can check different paths, and we can see if some so-called teacher is declaring, I'm the Lord, or allows his followers to declare him as the Lord. This is not bona fide path. So we should be very careful not to fall prey to this. And there are some paths who don't follow Guru Parampara. So there are some founders of certain traditions who are not followers of any teacher before. But we know from Bhagavad-gita, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarsho vidu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtah parantapa. I have, and even before, Imvam vivasvati yogam proktamam aham avyam vivasan manave praha manur ikshvakave bravit. That I have explained this knowledge to Vivasvan, to sun god, and he explained it to Ikshvaku and so on, and Ikshvaku to Manu. So it goes from the Lord uninterruptedly to through this cyclic succession to our spiritual teachers. And if there is some teacher who doesn't follow this parampara system, and Shastra explained that there are 4 bona fide parampara systems, and one is Brahma Sampradaya, one is Shiva or Rudra Sampradaya, one is Shri Sampradaya, and one is Kumara Sampradaya. There are 4 bona fide sampradayas of spiritual teachings. And actually Lord Chaitanya, who is incarnation for this age, he even combined these 4 sampradayas. So Sampradaya of Lord Chaitanya, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, is actually culmination and combination of all sampradayas. Although still these 4 sampradayas are bona fide if followed properly. So we should know the essence. First, that no one is incarnation, should be counted as an incarnation of this age. And second, we don't... what is the glory of Srila Prabhupada, for example? He made the most followers in the world, actually. If you ask anyone on this street, have you heard for Krishna? Everyone will say yes, isn't it? But if you ask people, have you heard for Prabhupada? What will they say? No, I have never heard about Prabhupada. Yeah. So he didn't come to glorify himself. He came to glorify Krishna. This is the sign that he didn't want to glorify himself, although he wrote so many books, but only Krishna glorification is found in them. Yes, this is very important to understand. And in this second chapter of first canto, it is explained, Dharmak svanushtitah pumsam vishvaksena katasuya natpadayat yatiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. That whatever we do, if we don't develop deep desire to hear about Krishna, everything is shrama eva hi kevalam. Shrama means useless labor. With such labor we get just blisters and no result. In Slovene we have expression, if someone is speaking nonsense, that he's beating empty straw. There is if you grow wheat, for example, there is full of grain, and you have to beat it to get grain out of the straw. But if you beat empty straw, you get nothing. So if you do anything in your life, but this doesn't lead to be attached to hearing about the Lord, to be attached to the Lord, to strive for this ahetuki bhakti, then it's shrama eva hi kevalam, useless labor. And he uses very strong words. Eva, we just said that is something that strongly supports something, means certainly. And he also means certainly. And kevalam means only. That means only and certainly again. It's only useless labor, only just beating empty husks, empty straw. You will get nothing if you don't develop love for the Lord. So if some path is totally directed in this direction and don't glorify some teachers as the Lord, then it's bona fide. But if some path is glorifying some person as the Lord, and he allows this, then it's certainly cheating process. And there is also another consideration. If something is very expensive, these spiritual things, it's certainly cheating. You can check. If someone is selling you a mantra, or selling you initiation, or selling you anything, it's cheating. It's cheating. Lord Jesus said, you receive for free, you give for free. Yes, this is a sign of bona fide religion. And Prabhupada gave everything for free. Completely for free. He wanted only one thing, your life. Yes. Your life. That you give your life, your heart to Krishna. If you keep your heart for yourself, you are cheated. Yes. Hare Krishna. I think we should end here. Thank you very much for your attention. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Please accept my